Hey everybody, I just wanted to do a little bit of a different video for you guys today, something that I kind of came across as I was training up my account, my main account that is, and I didn't see anything about this on the wiki, and I actually had to go back through and add a bunch of stuff to the wiki after I ran this course a few times. So what I'm talking about is the Sorceress's Summer Garden. You could probably tell that from the title. The Sorceress's Summer Garden, if you don't know, is a alternate training method for thieving. Basically, you run up to this lady in here who is a practicing apprentice. She teleports you to a garden where there is a series of challenges that you can attempt based on different seasons. Okay, so spring, winter, summer, whatever. The summer one is really the only one worth doing, but it's worth doing for two reasons. One, you get a ton of thieving experience, like almost double the thieving experience you get at Arty Nights per hour. And it is way less click intensive than Arty Nights. This is something that you can do with just a little bit of attention, and it's very easy to get a lot of experience very quickly. There's a one-click method for this, meaning that you can just click right here on this fruit tree, and you go and get these fruits and then bring them to a man who stands just outside of the castle after you squeeze them into beer jar or whatever, a beer bottle. We're not actually looking at that. Okay, we are using the one-click method, but actually we're looking right over here. Check out these little herbs. I think a million people have come through and done this summer garden and never noticed that there are herbs to pick over here. It's really cool because the herb table has a whole bunch of really good drops on there. You can get Raynars from here, you can get Avantos, Quorums, Catentines, you can get a bunch of really nice herbs each run. Okay, you get 2 per run and you don't need a spade or anything. You also get farming XP for picking them. I'm going to show you kind of how this works. If you're maintaining a good steady pace, you're going to get about 150 farming XP per minute that you're doing this. So that's pretty good. We're going to take a look at that in just a second here. I'm going to take a couple minutes and set up the one-click method. If you don't know how that works, you'll notice that I have 2 tiles marked here, a little blue and a purple one. When this elemental passes from blue to purple, that is when you run. However, you can only do it when the cycle of all of these is just right. That requires failing a few times to get them all set up properly. Number 1 has to pass from blue to purple after both 1 and 3 have hit their middle tiles. So see middle tile here and middle tile here. As you can see, they're off by 1 right now. So I actually need to fix that. So I'm going to come here, purposely get caught, and it will teleport me out very quickly. This is a really cool method for Iron Men. If you want a nice, safe, easy way to get herbs and a little bit of farming XP, this is the way to do it. And you get a ton of worthwhile herbs. If you are just looking for something to do, to get a little bit of money, theoretically you can get between 300 and 400,000 GP per hour doing this. So it's a cool alternate moneymaker. All right. These guys are just about set up now. Okay, so as they bounce back, watch. They hit the interior, and then just as she passes. Now, I will probably fail here, not because of my mistake, but because, as you can see, number 2 is not properly set up. All right, number 2 is not properly set up, so I just open up the gate, and I go back in. You're not going to want to waste your stamina potions until after you already get this all set up. One nice thing about this is that if you've done the one-click method before and you already know all this, you can just skip ahead to the video, to the part in the video where I go and get the herbs if you want to see that. If you have already done the one-click method and you're like, oh, it's kind of a pain, this is a little bit easier than normal because the other elementals don't need to be set up as perfectly. Okay, it can be a little frustrating to get the whole thing set up just right, and it can take some time, but this last one doesn't come into play at all, so it actually takes a little bit less time to get set up. Okay, we're almost there. I have the first couple set up properly. I believe I have to fail 2, maybe 3 more times before this is set up properly, but then we'll be there. So they hit in the middle, they come back, and just as it passes over, you click. Now notice I run right past number 2. Number 3 will not see me. Number 4 should see me. Oh, nope. Okay, cool. Very nice. We're here. We pick the herbs. Boom. And then we're automatically teleported back. Very nice. Now, what do I have? I have Cadentine and Cadentine. Beautiful. That's 2.5K right there. I literally didn't have to do anything. So now they are going to bounce off the top. And then there, and I walk. And you can just keep doing this. As long as you stay in this rhythm and this cycle, you can just fill up your inventory. All right, now when I come out, I'm gonna sip one of these stand pots. So I automatically take the herbs. Boom, 50. I'm gonna sip a stand pot. Now there's 2 ways you could do this. You could either individually check each herb as you come out and then drop them, or you can wait for a full inventory, check them through, and then drop them, and then just get back into the cycle. If you're not as familiar with the cycle and how to do this run, I'd recommend that. Okay, for the first few at least, fill up your inventory. It should take a little less than 10 runs, and then just get back into the cycle of it, okay? It doesn't matter if you leave it for a few minutes, because when you come back, you can just watch for that moment when they hit in the middle and get right back on track, okay? So I can check again. I'm gonna drop my Guam leaf because I know that that's pretty much useless. Come on through, hang out on the edge, and bop off the wall. And then back across. Now you have like 20 seconds. I'm not touching it, right? My character is just running through. It's pretty great. You can even drop your Theremin and Avanto, whatever else you want to get rid of during this time. The Avanto is actually worth money. The Theremin is not. So click, drop, drop. Hey, open the gate, you. There we go. They should be just about ready, and doink, right off the wall. So there's no wasted time here. Literally the only thing that you have to do is make sure that your run energy stays up. It is that easy. Well, let's check the dwarf weed. What is that at? That's at 465. I'm just gonna drop that. You can just shift drop as you're running. You're never gonna click in here, so anything you drop in this area, you're not gonna pick back up. Sometimes if you miss the herbs, you'll have to make sure that you click those. So I wasted a second of time here, so I'm just gonna make sure that I get right back in. Avanto, Avanto, Guam is useless. Don't drop the Guam when you're standing here, otherwise you're gonna stand back on top of it and pick it back up. You don't wanna do that. So I noticed that my run energy is out, so I'm just gonna sip a stand pot as I'm running. I probably could have waited a little bit. I probably wasted a little bit of restore there. I should have waited till I was lower. Whatever, it's fine. You aren't gonna really use up all 3 as you're doing this unless you're really lucky, unless you're really unlucky with the useful herbs. What do I have here? A Guam leaf, I'll get rid of that. So I'm just gonna skip ahead until I have a full inventory of useful herbs, and I'll show you what I got at the end here, okay? My inventory isn't full yet, but I just want to show you how quick you're going to get Raynars here. I've collected, 10 other herbs, but I hit my first Raynar after just a few minutes. So that's, easy 8 or 9K. I don't think I have to say this, but obviously if you're doing this, having full graceful is extremely helpful. You don't need to have it as long as you have access to any kind of run restore. Even basic energy potions will get you through one round here. You don't need anything fancy. You can do this with no equipment whatsoever, just using the run energy you have, and then you go and bank them in Alcarid because it's right outside. You can literally just do this with no extra gear or equipment. Having this makes it way easier and faster, obviously. Just gonna drink another stand pot, get myself back up. Make sure if you drink a stand pot or drop anything as you're running that you click back on the herb as you're going. Otherwise, you're going to just stand there and not teleport back. And then you might get out of cycle, whatever. My biggest piece of advice, if you're not very familiar with the one-click method, is just be patient. People get frustrated and rush through this whole thing. Mark your tiles, assuming you're using, Runelight like any good RS player, and just be patient. You're gonna fail like 10, possibly like 15 times. Come on, pick the herb. 10 possible 15 times before you actually get all of the things in order. And then of course, if you aren't paying attention or you like rush it or whatever and you fail, then you're gonna have to set them all back up again, which is gonna waste a little bit of time. But not much, okay? Not much. If you're a hardcore or if you're an Iron Man who wants some farming XP, I'll show you what farming XP you get after I do this. I reset my tracker for farming, so we should be able to take a look at that in just a couple of minutes. Oh, okay, so I just made a mistake here. I rushed it and I ruined the order. So you're gonna see that this has made a mistake. Yep, there it goes. Now number 3 is out of order, okay? That means that I am going to have to reset number 3. So I'm going to have to wait in the correct moment here and try to make a run for it. I have to purposely get caught and fail a few times to reset the order. It'll take a little bit of time, but again, not too long. So watch, I'm going to wait for it to cross. Now theoretically, number 3 is going to catch me again. There we go. I may have to do this 1 or 2 more times, but this isn't really going to dig into our herbs per hour too much because it's just a couple of minutes of time. And if you only mess up once or twice per hour, it's not hurting you that bad. And if you're an Iron Man, I mean, this is just so great. So here we go, off the walls in the middle again. And now the other ones may be out of whack, so I might get caught here, specifically on number 4 here, but we'll see how that works out. Nope, number 5. Okay, number 5 caught me, but number 5 I think only has a 1-tick alternation, so she either is like on or she's off. So just take 1 more second here. Bop, off the walls. Crossing over the middle. And perfect, there we go. Got our herbs. See, look at that. Real time, we're right back on track. Okay, so 65K, and it literally took me 15 minutes. Literally took me 15 minutes. Okay, so do that 4 times, and what do you got? 240K an hour. And I messed up a little bit, and I kind of got unlucky with some of my herbs here. So if you drink from the fountain, you can return that way. All right, it will bounce you back. Or if you want faster banking, you can just use the Alcarid bank off of your Amulet of Glory. You're gonna appear here, which is a little bit closer to the bank, so it'll shave a few seconds off your run. Okay, so there you have it. Easy 240, upwards of 300K an hour if you get those Raynar weeds. This is just so easy for herbs for Iron Men. The only qualification is 65 thieving to do Summer Garden. What do you got to lose? Okay, so I hadn't seen any guides on this. I thought I should put one together for you guys, so there it is. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you use it. Enjoy.